Hello and welcome back to the Switchblade Hour. And this is a follow-up for a meeting that we had back in Sebring. I've been Coleman, one of your hosts and fan for Aviation Network. Thank you for tuning in and watching. We're in a different location now, and it's kind of coming to fruition of what we talked about 2 years ago. And I'm sitting here with Sam Bousfield. Sam,
hi.
We're sitting in something here that I believe has been coming, you can see it a lot longer before we did in your mind. And I just wanted to have a little word with you. We're sitting here at Rhineville, and it is their research and development, R&D. I like to call it their skunk works.
Okay, that fits.
You just had a meeting with your investors, and we've taken our business friendship a little step further.
You bet.
And when we set up your safety program.
Yeah, that'll be a big improvement.
And I'm looking forward to learning more about what's going on. And now I want to find out for the benefit of the viewers and the fans of Aviation Network,
right?
For their benefit, what else is going on and what's the next things that we can expect to see with the Switchblade car?
Well, obviously we're sitting in a pretty rough model, but it's what we use to sort out the ergonomics, getting in and out of the vehicle, what's your view, is everything in hand's reach, and that kind of thing. And that validated the designs that we had done by Bunker Bradley, who's the chief of design for the interiors. So this was the big thing, and it got done. We have the mirrors on, we can see back of the vehicle now, we know what the visibility will be like, and actually it's worked out really well. So all of this worked out really good. We're through the wind tunnel, and now we may have a tweak on the tail. We've kind of digested all that data and see that there's room for improvement there again, so I think we're going to put room for improvement and make that the best we can. And that's for the tail area only. The rest of it is ready to go, so we're just going to go ahead and finish now with the structural, start making the bolts, start pulling the parts, start assembling from all the components that we have here already to make that flying prototype happen and get it up in the air. You know, that's what everybody's waiting for, so are we.
Well, and I keep hearing the wind tunnel test.
Yeah,
wind tunnel test. I know that was frustrating because it was some holdups and drawbacks. It kind of held you up quite a bit.
Yeah, it did. It took, we expected a month and a half for the wind tunnel model to be made and it took quite a lot longer than that before we actually got the wind tunnel made. And that's partly us. We didn't anticipate doing the wind tunnel until the engineers that we had structural kind of team up and said, you know what, we really, going forward, we should take it one step further and do that. And I looked at it and said, I agree. This is something we should do. And so we went for it as a kind of an unplanned event. And with that, we didn't have the resources lined up that we would have or should have. So we had to find those resources and get it done. And it took a little bit longer. But it was a very professional job. The guys that did the wind tunnel parts did a great job. As a matter of fact, the wind tunnel guys commented over and over how nice a model was. It was not something that they see all the time. So they were quite impressed with that. And we did a lot of testing. We were there 2 days. We did 110 different tests over those 2 days. That's do a test, break it down or change something, another test, right? So that was a lot of testing. So I'm very happy.
Well, if you're going to go to that extent, you might as well get the maximum out of it, like you say.
Yeah.
And the impressive thing is, for some of our viewers, they may not understand the importance of wind tunnel testing at the beginning, in the first stage of the development of a machine of this nature. Can you expand a little bit about maybe some of the learning curve from other projects that did a flying prototype and tried to extrapolate some of their reasonings and design work from prototypes rather than doing it this way?
Right. I think that I think most credible operations, and I'll say that not meaning to offend, but Boeing, Cessna, they're all pretty much using the wind tunnel. And even though you can get within about 5% of actual with the engineering these days, it's very, very accurate, that the wind tunnel will get you within 3. And then you have the actual, which is what you find when you flight test it. And I think that that's a really, really important part of a program. And I think that if you really want to be professional about it, that's what you're going to do. Some people have tried to do it differently, or have done a wind tunnel on a part of it, and then they changed it and didn't do that again. But to be really on the ball, on target, doing what you know each step is validated, and going forward on that, you know, it's another tool, and you use all the tools.
Sam, this has been a most informative trip for me out here. And it was a long trip. It's a long way from Central Florida. but it was a pleasure, and from what I have seen, I'm pretty well convinced that you're going to be able to come up with a machine that's not going to falter and it's not going to fall apart on the field. Now the rest of the pressure is on me to put together the program to train and teach the people how to properly operate this machine. Because it is unusual, and it's not just for every Tom, Dick, and Harry, or Jane, Sue, and Mary Lynn out there, not Finn or ladies. But it's I think it's wide open. Let's see what happens.
You bet. I like it.